Once upon a time, in a valley full of flowers, there was a large, distant beehive. In this hive lived a wise and loving queen bee named Melina, who ensured the hive's order, made honey, and cared for the young bees. As the morning sun cast its warm glow over the valley, the hive was buzzing with anticipation. The worker bees were eagerly awaiting their turn to collect nectar from the flowers, while the younger bees listened closely to Queen Melina's instructions. From her throne in the center of the hive, Melina ensured every bee carried out their tasks perfectly. At the first light of day, the worker bees took flight, heading into the valley to collect nectar from the most colorful flowers. Under Melina's guidance, the nectar was brought back to the hive to begin the honey-making process. Inside the hive, the honeycombs filled to the brim with the sweet result of their teamwork. Deep within the hive, the young bees were growing under the watchful care of the nurse bees, who, following Melina's instructions, fed them special nutrients to make them strong and healthy. Occasionally, Melina would visit the young bees and whisper encouraging words. One day, you too will become strong worker bees, helping nature flourish. At the end of each day, the bees would return to the hive, carefully depositing the nectar into the honeycombs. Queen Melina watched over them with pride and serenity. Knowing that when nature's rhythm worked hand in hand with the bees' diligence, everything fell into place perfectly, each drop of nectar you These colors are so amazing. I've never seen such beautiful flowers before. Is this where honey comes from? Friends, you won't believe it. Today I saw the most beautiful flowers outside the hive. They were so big and colorful, and I collected honey from each one. I even slept on a flower because I stayed out too late. It was the most exciting day of my life. Collect is the lifeblood of our hive, Melina would say to the worker bees. You are all doing a great job. These words of encouragement inspired the bees to fly out with the same energy and excitement the following day. Thus, under the leadership of Queen Melina, the hive grew larger, filling with honey and nurturing new generations of bees. At the entrance of the hive, Melina would always watch her bees with a sweet smile. She was the heart of the hive, and the bees, grateful to her, continued their diligent work of collecting nectar from the flowers. One day, from this peaceful hive, a new bee emerged. Her name was Piti, and she was one of the most curious bees in the hive. Piti had only known the inside of the hive since the day she was born. She had heard from the other bees about how honey was made, but she had never seen the flowers that provided the nectar. Today was Piti's big day. For the first time, she would leave the hive and see the flowers. With excited wings, Piti flew towards the hive's exit. The moment she stepped outside, her breath was taken away. The valley was filled with colorful flowers, and as the sunlight hit them, it was as if she had stepped into a fairy tale. Piti was amazed to learn that this was the source of the honey she had always eaten. Is this the secret of honey? She whispered to herself. For the first time, she opened her wings. Oops, I stayed out too late and can't find my way back to the hive. This flower is so soft. I'll just sleep here tonight and return to the hive tomorrow. Wings wide and glided towards a flower. The sweet scent of nectar filled her senses, and without thinking, she dove right into the flower. Incredible, she exclaimed. Does honey come from these sweet-smelling flowers? Piti flew from flower to flower, growing more and more amazed at the wonders of nature. In the midst of her adventure, Piti made new friends. She met bees from other hives, including a blue-winged bee who asked, Is this your first time out here? Piti nodded excitedly, yes, and it's the most wonderful thing I've ever seen. They flew together, sharing fun moments and laughs. But as much fun as Piti was having, time passed quickly. The sun began to set, and Piti realized it was time to return to the hive. However, in her excitement, she had lost track of time and had no idea how to get back. Panic set in. What am I going to do? She thought. Night fell, and the valley was covered in a blanket of darkness before Piti could find her. Friends, you won't believe it. Today I saw the most beautiful flowers outside the hive. They were so big and colorful, and I collected honey from each one. I even slept on a flower because I stayed out too late. It was the most exciting day of my life. Desperately, she landed on the soft petals of a flower. The petals were so comfortable, and with the stars twinkling above her, Piti decided to sleep there. Before closing her eyes, she thought, tomorrow I'll find my way back to the hive, but today was the best day of my life. And so, Piti found peace and rest among the flower's petals under the starry sky. The next morning, as the sun rose, Piti awoke with renewed energy. She finally found her way back to the hive by following the flowers. Everyone in the hive listened to her adventure with wide smiles, laughing and treating her like a hero. That day, Piti learned that collecting nectar wasn't just a job, it was an adventure.